Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to read you Rudy Giuliani's words. This is in a Fox News article. Quote, "You cannot disclose grand jury material. It is a crime." Now they can say April 2nd, but Bill Barr and Rod Rosenstein are not going to jail because they have an unrealistic deadline. They may have to go to court and get a court order so they can release it. That's what they had to do with Watergate. The House Democrats love to make these demands that actually Trump is now ignoring, which is fantastic. Trump should ignore all their demands. What they've done for 2 years is they've tried to foment and spew this propaganda that said Trump worked with Russia to buy Facebook ads and to hack the DNC. This all stems from Hillary Clinton purchasing CrowdStrike, the only tech firm to look at DNC servers. These CrowdStrike gave images and copies that just so happened to correlate with the Democratic Party's narrative to the United States government. The United States government never confirmed, without a shadow of a doubt, based on their own forensics, if these copies from CrowdStrike are accurate. They're relying on a third-party tech firm to indict Russian intelligence officers, all of these things. Then you have the Steele dossier purchased by Clinton. That's part of how all this started. What Democrats are saying is, well, you must give us the complete report April 2nd. William Barr actually came out the other day, said, no, it's going to be in the middle of April, and it's going to be heavily redacted. I explained it's actually going to be it's actually not going to be the actual words of Robert Mueller to the Justice Department. Because even Mueller had a summary of why he prosecuted certain people and why he declined to prosecute certain people. William Barr summarized all 400 pages or so in 4 pages. But William Barr is going to summarize the summary. William Barr is going to redact a great deal of it. William Barr also has the discretion not to give certain pieces of information. So he's not going to, not just redact, he's not going to give everything that Robert Mueller wrote, because he doesn't have to. He doesn't have to. When they redact certain portions of documents, they redact the portions because, let's say, there's a section that actually pertains to Congress, but within that section, there's classified data, there's data that is important to the White House, whatever, or classified in some manner. That doesn't have to do with Trump-Russia collusion or any semblance of any criminality, or it's protecting a United States citizen. So within the section of the Mueller report, or sections or paragraphs that are actually given to Congress, they'll redact certain portions. It's probably going to be heavily redacted, which will drive the Democrats nuts. But they're not going to get every single word written by Robert Mueller. I explained that in one of my prior segments. Bill Barr is going to have the discretion to rewrite or summarize either all of it or certain portions, even when they get the 400-page report. Because this is the executive branch investigating the executive branch, and oh, by the way, there's no further indictments. Trump is not getting indicted. Why? Because he didn't commit any crimes. This isn't a cover-up. See, what's taking place here is that what they did with Clinton is they covered up her crimes. So there was evidence that legal statutes were violated. Even James Comey stated that. Although there's evidence of potential violations of legal statutes, he said, well, she didn't intend to do that. That's not the case with Trump. Mueller didn't say, well, although there is evidence that Trump broke legal statutes, he didn't intend to do so. There is no evidence that Trump broke legal statutes. They had a completely partisan Mueller team, 12 or 13 hardcore Democrats. If they could find anything on Trump, they even made things up. It's not a campaign finance violation to pay Stormy Daniels. Are you kidding me? That is not a campaign. That first of all, the event happened prior to the campaign. Second of all, it's a personal expenditure. Third, it's a personal expenditure because he would have paid that at any point in time. Not the case with the Steele dossier. I explain in a Daily Caller article that Hillary Clinton should be indicted under campaign finance violations for funneling money through her law firm into Fusion GPS. Anyway, if they could get Trump on anything, they would. They went after him with the full weight of the United States government. Trump fought back. Think of how many wins. Trump won the presidency. He confirmed. Kavanaugh is confirmed. Okay, we can go on. In a galaxy far, far away, something happened. We have no witnesses. We have no location. We have no time. But Keith Ellison, his accuser actually has medical records. And oh, by the way, they're going to ignore that. They're a bunch of hypocrites. So, won the election. He won the Kavanaugh hearing. He won the funding battle. He just declared a national emergency. Now he has Department of Defense funding. So he circumvented Congress with that. And now he's won 2 years. He's defeated them after 2 years of the media. Now, let me ask you this. The media colluding with corrupt officials who are now backtracking. John Brennan, when was the last time, when did you ever think that John Brennan would backtrack? This guy was supposed to be in the know. This guy was supposed to have all the information, even after his security clearance was revoked. He's now backtracking. And they're going to lose this Mueller report battle. It's going to be heavily redacted and then further summarized. Barr says Mueller report will be redacted and made public by April. The special counsel's report on the investigation into Russia's election interference. First of all, that's still a lie. They didn't interfere in the election. Not one vote was altered. Want to know how I know? Because the burden of proof is upon those who are making the claim. They have yet to prove that even one vote was altered. This is all under the assumption that because they purchased some Facebook ads, only 100 of the 3,000 plus they purchased were actually mentioned Trump, and most were seen after the election. And the vice president of Facebook said that, oh yeah, by the way, it wasn't to elect Trump, it was to sow discord, which we had enough discord. We don't need any other country. I love it when the Democrats are saying they're going to try to cause chaos. Like, no, Democrats cause chaos. That's what they do. They spread and they disseminate propaganda through MSNBC, CNN, the Washington Post, the New York Times, your favorite pundits on the left who believe Trump Russia. And then they say, oh my God, Trump is causing problems. Well, no. They do the same thing, by the way, with the nationalists and the supremacists. Like, nobody would know who any of these people are. Okay? Nobody would know who Richard Spencer was. Nobody, if it weren't for liberal or definitely progressive media. If it weren't for Vice and the Daily Beast and the New York Times, nobody would know who he is. And then when I debate him and expose his ideology, I opposed Richard Spencer in a debate. In the last 20 minutes of our debate, he doesn't say it outright, something horrific, something heinous. He alludes to it. So, but see, you're not going to get liberals debating Richard Spencer because perhaps they don't have the intellectual capacity, perhaps they don't have the courage, perhaps they think that he'll defeat them in a debate, and that it'll all be under the guise of, well, we're not going to give him a platform. You're not going to give him a platform, but every day you talk about the nationalists. Every day you give them, and he even stated during the debate that if it weren't for liberal media, people wouldn't know who he was, or his ideology wouldn't have been spread. Same thing with Russia. Liberals spread the things they claim to hate and oppose. And they don't even want to. So when I reach out to people, I say, let's debate. So I opposed 100% Richard Spencer's ideology. I debated him. I exposed a certain part of his ideology that actually liberals don't, or progressives, a lot of progressive pundits don't, towards the last part of this debate. But their response is, well, we would never do that because there's no reason to debate him. You're giving him a platform. I'm repeating myself, but the point is the same thing with Russia. They didn't want to debate the Russia thing. They didn't want to debate anything. We're going to wait till the report comes out. We're going to wait till the report comes out. Well, you've now waited till the report. Well, we have to see the whole report. They're going to lose on this too. They're going to lose on this as well. Democrats continually lose to Trump, and all they do is try to demean him because they don't have an actual platform. What happened when they cheated Bernie Sanders, who took a dive, who was cowardly and didn't fight? He should have joined Jill Stein, and he should have fought. He was cheated. He should have fought, and then he actually spread the Trump-Russia myth, which is insidious in its own right, to actually spread a false narrative that implicates you and Jill Stein, because it implicated Bernie Sanders. In one of the indictments, they said, they tried to utilize Bernie Sanders to harm Hillary Clinton. The whole thing was a scam and a facade, and it's now completely in the open. They were duped. They duped themselves for 2 years. And by the way, they duped themselves that Trump is this racist monster. He's not. I'll be starting a website where you can debunk all of these claims, and you can actually defeat any one of your friends or family members. It'll help you defeat a liberal or progressive in a debate anytime. So when people say Trump is a racist, you can actually list all the things he's done. Prison, criminal justice reform, record low Black Latino unemployment, and then compare that to Hillary Clinton, who they don't think is a racist, and we can go on forever with her racist past. But the point is, this website is going to be great. Foreign policy, always a maniac. Oh yeah, beginning of peace between North and South Korea, and Moon Jae-in stated that he should win the Nobel Peace Prize. So that website's going to be coming out soon, by the end of May. But he said the report, which covers Moscow's campaigns to sabotage the 2016 presidential race. He said the report, which covers, here we go. So they're trying to actually, there was still something to it. No, Moscow did not try to sabotage the 2016 presidential race with Facebook ads. Nobody was influenced. You know who did try? Hillary Clinton actually did work with the Ukraine, and the Ukrainian officials now have a criminal investigation into her election interference. In our election, she tried to find information on Manafort to hurt Trump. She also purchased a Steele dossier. She purchased a Steele dossier with, was compiled with help from Russian sources. So there you go. She's the one who actually worked with Russia, not Trump. But whether any Trump associates conspired and whether the president obstructed the inquiry, that's ridiculous. The obstruction thing is even more absurd than him purchasing Facebook ads. That's even more ridiculous. But you can go on forever regarding. He said the report. He said he planned to testify on Capitol Hill. Oh, that'll be great. He will destroy them. It'll be hilarious. He said he planned to testify on Capitol Hill in early May, shortly after the report's release, to discuss it with lawmakers. Mr. Barr. But his declaration on Sunday, 2 days after the report was delivered to him, that Mr. Trump had not illegally obstructed justice, drew swift condemnation from Democrats. Well, of course they did. He didn't obstruct justice by firing James Comey. Comey was insubordinate, according to the IG, endless times, and should have been fired. And he didn't obstruct justice by preventing the Mueller probe. The Mueller probe went after people who had nothing to do with Trump-Russia. Again, the Mueller probe, Michael Cohen he's a crook, but he has nothing to do with Trump-Russia. Manafort's a crook, he has nothing to do with Trump-Russia. Michael Flynn didn't do anything at all. He was set up. George Papadopoulos had met with somebody at a bar, Alexander Dumbo Downer. He was completely set up. And all 30-plus indictments all have to do with either process crimes or nothing to do, or crimes that have absolutely nothing to do with Trump-Russia. The process crimes have nothing to do with Trump-Russia either. What they needed to find was an email or a payment. So money, cash flowed into the Clinton Foundation before, Obama failed to veto uranium sales. So there was a cash payment or money payment. There was a transfer of funds, money. Where was the money transfer? No money transfer between Trump and Russians linked to Russia collusion. Where are the any documents, any emails, any where are the Russian hackers? Oh, the intelligence officers? How did you find that out? Oh, because Company 1 told you? Oh, CrowdStrike? Where's the evidence? The evidence they used to start the probe was not derived from U.S. intelligence agencies. It was derived from the Steele dossier and Papadopoulos' meeting. So when they say Papadopoulos met with Alexander Dumbo Downer, they say, well, that was the precursor to everything. That's not even evidence. That's not evidence. It's all gossip and hearsay. But where's the evidence? Where's the money flow? Is there an email? Are there documents? Anything? Was there anything to say that Trump worked with Russia? Anything? They had nothing. Why? If indeed Trump worked with Russia, why isn't Dorsey and Zuckerberg of Twitter and Facebook? Why aren't they ensnared into all of this? What makes? Let's say these people were Republicans. You don't think the Mueller probe would have gone after them for accepting payments from Russia, for allowing Russian bots on Twitter, for accepting money from Russian troll farms? How is Facebook completely exonerated or innocent? Why? How is Trump guilty of Russia collusion when all this collusion happened, when all this interference happened on Facebook? You have a DNC alleged hack, and the only reason we know that is from CrowdStrike. You have a DNC hack that exposed the fact that Bernie Sanders was cheated. You have Clinton, who had top secret and special access program intelligence illegally transferred onto her emails. What they did was they inoculated their criminal behavior. The fact that they cheated Bernie Sanders turned into, oh, the Russians hacked and let us know in part of a big campaign to influence us. The fact that Clinton committed numerous crimes regarding her servers is, oh my God, people are trying to find Clinton's emails. And then they went to the absurd. They lost their minds with this. They said that Trump in a speech tried to ask Russia to hack Clinton's emails, which is hilarious. Because you couldn't, if you simply yell into the sky and say, Russia, please do this, that's not asking Russia to do anything. It's like they've lost it. Anyway, the report's going to be heavily redacted. It's going to be hilarious. And William Barr is going to school them. And they're going to lose again. Give me your thoughts below. Share this segment everywhere. There was never any evidence of Trump-Russia. Furthermore, there was no crime that Trump committed. That is the big problem. That's the big problem. They investigated Trump without a prior crime. To this day, nobody can actually accuse Trump of a specific crime, aside from 18 U.S. Code 371, the conspiracy statutes, which relate to James Comey, Peter Strzok, McCabe, all the people who conspired against Trump and the United States government. Other than that, there are no specific crimes, and for that to have to, there isn't even anything linking Trump to U.S. Code 18 U.S. Code 371. There's a lot directly linking McCabe, Strzok, and Comey, and I explained that endlessly. 18 U.S. Code 371. That's directly linking them to that statute. There's nothing linking Trump to that statute, but that's what they tried to get Trump on. The allegation is he was part of a widespread conspiracy. Number one, there's nothing that implicates him to any of the charges of anyone who's been charged. And number two, there was no widespread endeavor. They haven't proven anything because there was nothing. The whole thing was started by Clinton. Give me your thoughts below. Share this segment everywhere. And thank you so very much. Check out HA2A below and check out my writing in The Federalist, The Daily Caller, The Jerusalem Post. My Patreon link is below if you want to support this channel long term. Thank you.